Do you think that your sales calls are just taking too long and sometimes you just get lost along the way? Hi, I'm Chris Freeman, the closer clients want. And in this video, I'm going to be answering your question of how to close more sales and close them faster. Now, this really has a lot of different factors you need to take in, but I'm going to tackle what I believe to be the three main questions that you need to answer. That is going to help you to answer all the other questions you're going to have about how to increase the ratio at which you close and to close those clients faster. And the first one is to review your calls. Are you recording your calls and going over them every time? Because you may think that just because you had the call, you're going to remember every single detail. I guarantee that you won't, no matter how good your memory is, okay? Now, what's the purpose of recording these calls and going over them is that you'll be able to write down, okay? In fact, I want you to write down when you're listening to these calls the bits of information that you think that helped, and then write down a list of, in another column, of the things that you and the prospect talked about that you didn't think went anywhere or really helped, or that kind of you got lost along the way, okay? And then I want you to write on the side where all the subjects where you did help is how could you have gone down or further into those topics more, okay? How could you have avoided the other list that didn't help you, okay? I want you to rewrite, in a sense, the script that you've written, which is a kind of like a history tab of what happened before, okay? And just restructure how you would have done that call. And then try to implement that into your next call, okay? And you don't have to do this every single call you take, because maybe you have 5, 10, or maybe you do a lot of cold calls and you have maybe 10 conversations that last more than 10 minutes every single day, okay? Just go over, say, half of them, or if you really, really want to improve and just go that extra mile, then review every single one. Once you've done this, you'll be able to have a very good idea of what parts you tend to get mixed upon, okay, that take you off that trail, and you need to improve that, okay? Maybe you want to improve that before getting on to the next call. Practice it with a colleague, a sales colleague, and keep doing it again and again, and try different scenarios, and always keep testing yourself, because what gets measured gets improved. The second part is to review your sales funnel. Maybe it's not your sales funnel, but it's your partners or your influencers' sales funnel. You need to see just how qualified are the people coming onto the calls, okay? How much do they know? How invested are they, okay? Did they just come through straight from a Facebook ad? Maybe they have a higher investment level and they came across by going through a one-day workshop that costs, I don't know, maybe £50 or $100 first. If that's so, then they're more likely to be qualified, okay? And in essence, the people you're going to get on with, the prospects who are going to be on those calls with you, they're going to be far more invested, more serious, and in a sense, those calls are going to be faster, okay? They're going to be higher quality calls, and it's going to make things so much easier for you, because you don't have to, in a sense, work as hard. You don't have to try to sell as much, because the marketing is already extremely strong, okay? So you need to identify just how qualified they are, the prospects, how strong is the marketing before they get onto the sales call with you. That's number 2. Also, before I get into number 3 is you need to be, even if you're not like the salesperson, the sales funnel guy, you need to speak with the person or your boss, okay, and put in your critique and your feedback of how they can improve the funnel, okay? Because the funnel affects your calls and it affects your performance, okay? If you truly want to improve as a salesperson, then you need to care about the process, okay? Because even if it is the majority of calls, in essentially, especially cold calling, is a numbers game, it does not hurt to look at the other processes. Because let's just say you're a Formula One driver, okay, you're a racing driver, and you're driving the car. You should expect to have some input into the car that you're driving, because the car will affect your performance. And you might not be a car designer, a car mechanic, but you should have some kind of input, because if you really care about the race, if you really care about the people that you're on the calls with, then you want to improve the funnel that they're going through, the marketing that they're going through that brings them on, so that they're better prepared for the call and that you get higher qualified people onto the call, making everyone's time faster and easier. The last thing is, I want you to question just about the call. Why do you want it to be faster? Okay, how fast are your calls currently? What are you currently doing in those calls? And it kind of ties on with number one, where you review the calls, but I want you to go a little bit deeper. I want you to question just how quick you want your calls to be, okay? And do you really need to do things faster? As a whole, close everyone faster? Or do you have a problem connecting with them? You need to identify the core issue that needs to be worked on. You need to identify your core reasoning behind why you want faster calls, okay? Because it's all good in saying, I want to close more prospects, I want to have faster sales calls. But you need to identify what's your weakest area, what are you having most trouble with. Only then will we be able to say, okay, the reason why I wanted faster calls is because I spent too long just going down a rabbit hole that never went anywhere. We talked about a topic with the prospects. Well, I keep talking about topics with the prospects that didn't really go anywhere and did not help. And the calls are lasting on average an hour when I feel that it could have been half an hour. And that brings you to the next question, is how long do you want each call to take? Because if you're having a warm, inbound, qualified prospect speaking with you, then for me, I would still require about, say, 30 minutes. Okay, it might be a little bit longer, but I normally would try to aim for 30 minutes. 45 minutes is the absolute max for me for a single call, because my style is focused on warm, inbound, qualified leads coming and calling me, so that I would pick up the phone, and so I'm the expert because they called me. Because if I called them and tried to set everything up, then I'm the salesperson. So my style is a one-call close, generally one-call close in under 45 minutes. Although I understand, and you probably know as well, that even if you try to set the call for 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever time you choose, there's going to be some times where it's going to take longer, okay? And it's going to be so much faster. Maybe you can have a 10-minute close like that, just because the person is just so qualified and the call is just going so well. But the thing you really need to focus on is, first and foremost, is the connection, okay? You need to focus more on that than the time, because chances are that if you feel your calls are taking too long or you're focusing on 20-minute calls, then you're not focusing on too much of the connection, okay? Or you're just thinking 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes, or you're too focused on the time instead of the prospect of being in the presence of the call. And I've repeated this quote many times. Most people try to use the relationship to get the close, but what they forget is that the relationship is the close. So always focus on the quality of your calls as opposed to the quickness of your calls, because the stronger the connection you can make and the faster you can create these connections, the faster your calls are going to be, and the stronger and the faster your closes are going to be. And if some people might need more time, okay, because some processes are a 2-call close, a 3-call close, during those times between the end of one call and moving to the other, is you need to establish a very clear set of action steps that are going to happen next, because prospects always lie, okay? They might say, oh, I need to think about something, or I need to look at this more. You need to call them out on their bullshit, because they're going to throw up a lot of smoke and mirrors, and it's your job to push past all of that and get them to be absolutely crystal clear on what they're going to do. That when they're thinking about when they need more time to think about it, it's just that it's not just another way of just saying no, is it? Like, you're not going to do that, because if they don't think it's right for them, then they should just say it. But you're going to word it slightly differently. So if we're going to go to it, you need to review your calls, you need to review the sales funnel, and you need to look deeper into the why. Why do you want these calls faster? Do you think that you're focusing too much on using the relationship to get the deal, or are you focusing more on the relationship, which is the deal? And that's pretty much it. If you've got any questions, or you wanted me to explain a little bit more of any part of that video, then just comment down below and let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video to see more in the future. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.